The untold dark side of semen retention is a subject that most people avoid because it does not fit into the neat motivational slogans and polished success stories that dominate self-help conversations. On the surface, the practice is presented as a path to power, a way to reclaim masculine energy, and a method to rise above the numbing habits of modern life. But beneath the surface lies a reality that is darker, heavier, and far more demanding than most men are ready to face. Retention is not just about saying no to release. It is about entering into a battle with your own biology, your own psychology, and your own place in a society that is constantly whispering temptations into your ear. And that battle reveals truths that are as uncomfortable as they are transformative. Before we go deeper, I want to invite you to join the Telegram channel linked in the description, because that is where we speak freely about subjects that cannot always survive on mainstream platforms. If you truly want the raw and unfiltered discussion, then that is the place for you. Now let us begin the journey into the hidden cost of semen retention. When you hold back something as primal as release, you are not just changing a habit. You are interrupting a cycle that your biology has been trained to follow for thousands of generations. Nature designed the male body to produce, to release, to reset, and then to repeat the process. Retention interferes with that rhythm. And when you interfere with rhythm, the brain does not simply remain calm. Instead, it begins to amplify signals. Thoughts become sharper. Fantasies become stronger. The ordinary suddenly feels extraordinary. And this can be either intoxicating or tormenting, depending on how you handle it. Neuroscience shows that when you deny a reward that is deeply wired into your system, the brain adapts by recalibrating. It intensifies the desire. It heightens the anticipation, makes the absence of the reward even more present in your mind. This is why some men feel incredible clarity, while others spiral into obsession. Retention does not silence the urge, it makes it louder. The question then becomes simple. Can you transform that noise into music, or will it become static that drives you mad? The paradox becomes even sharper when you look at evolutionary psychology. For millions of years, survival meant passing on genes. The male drive to spread and reproduce was not optional. It was the essence of continuation. To resist that drive feels almost like standing in front of a tidal wave and trying to hold it back with your hands. Discipline gives you strength, but resistance extracts a price. The price can appear as mood swings, sudden irritation, unexplained anxiety, or a restless energy that never seems to find peace. Some men experience bursts of aggression that frighten even themselves. Others find that they cannot focus, that they cannot sleep, that their bodies feel trapped in a cycle of tension with no release. And yet they keep going because they have been told that retention always leads to power. But here is the darker truth. Power does not come automatically. What comes automatically is pressure. And if you do not learn to direct that pressure, it explodes in unpredictable ways. Social dynamics reveal another hidden side of this practice. The more you retain, the more your presence changes. People notice something different in your eyes. Some feel drawn toward it. Others feel intimidated. At first, this feels empowering. You believe you have discovered a secret key that sets you apart from the crowd? But over time, that difference can turn into distance. You start to feel disconnected from the easy laughter of others. You find it hard to enjoy shallow conversations. The digital distractions that amuse your friends feel meaningless to you, when slowly a gap begins to open between you and the world you live in. That gap can lead to strength if you fill it with purpose. But if you do not, it leads to isolation. You may appear strong on the outside while inside you wrestle with loneliness and misunderstanding. People see intensity in you, but they do not always see the struggle behind it. The darker side is that you begin to wear a mask of calm discipline that hides a storm within. Another dark layer emerges in the body itself. Tension advocates often speak of rising energy, of transformation, of higher states of being. But few speak of the tension that builds physically. The body can manifest strange aches. Muscles may feel tight, restlessness may course through your legs at night, sleep can become shallow, digestion can feel off. The body is not just a container, it is a communicator. And when you silence one of its primal outlets, it sends signals in other ways. Sometimes in subtle discomfort, sometimes in sharp frustration. Ignoring these signals only intensifies them. Retention is not just about holding energy, it is about learning how to ground it. Without grounding, that energy does not rise. It thrashes. There is also the paradox of desire itself. The more you resist it, the more powerful it becomes. It grows in your imagination until it dominates your thoughts. The very act of avoiding release can make release the center of your inner world. This is the psychological trap of retention. You can become addicted to the idea of not doing something. Your entire sense of self-worth can attach itself to the identity of being the man who resists. And the danger is that when you slip, when you give in even once, the shame can be overwhelming. A single moment can crush the image you built of yourself and send you spiraling into doubt. The practice meant to free you from addiction can ironically create a new addiction to control. Communities built around retention often reveal this hidden darkness. They sound like secret brotherhoods promising hidden power. But beneath the surface, there is silent competition. Men measure who can last the longest. Men compare streaks. Men share both pride and guilt. This comparison corrodes the spirit of self-mastery. Instead of finding peace, you find pressure. Instead of embracing strength, you live in fear of relapse. And that fear gives the practice the same power over your life as the habits you were trying to escape. The dark side of retention is not just biological or psychological. It is also social. It creates new chains, even as it claims to break old ones. Few men can handle retention for long because it requires more than discipline. It requires mental stability, emotional maturity, and spiritual grounding. Without those foundations, retention does not build you. It breaks you. It amplifies every insecurity you already carry. It exposes wounds you thought you had buried. It magnifies weaknesses you never wanted to admit. This is why some men end up more anxious, more rigid, more awkward than before. They confuse repression with transformation. They think holding back is enough to make them leaders. But all it really does is highlight the chaos within. And yet there is a paradox here too. That chaos, if faced honestly, can become the doorway to real growth. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff. You feel fear, you feel fascination, okay? Retention puts you in that space internally. You hold in your body a storm of energy that is both beautiful and dangerous. What you do with that storm determines your future. Some men use it to create art, to build businesses, to develop leadership. Others are consumed by it, lashing out, losing balance, and collapsing under the weight of their own inner pressure. The energy itself is not good or bad. It is raw power. It is fire. Fire can cook your food. Fire can also burn down your home. The difference lies in how you handle it. History offers examples. Monks who practiced celibacy often spoke of visions, of hallucinations, of emotional trials that tested the very fabric of their minds. Some rose to great wisdom. Others lost themselves in madness. Energy without grounding becomes a storm. And storms do not ask permission before they destroy. This is why retention must be approached with respect and caution. It is not a game. It is not a quick path to confidence. It is a mirror that reflects both your strengths and your shadows. And the shadows are often what rise first. So should men try retention? Yes, but not with blind faith. Not with fantasies of becoming a god overnight. The practice will not make women fall at your feet. It will not guarantee success. What it will do is show you exactly where you are weak. It will show you where you are insecure. It will reveal where you are unfulfilled. And if you can face that without collapsing, then you may emerge stronger. But the dark side is that most men cannot. That is why so few last. That is why this part of the story remains untold. It is whispered in private. It is avoided in public. Because the truth is uncomfortable. The truth is that retention does not save you. It tests you. And tests are not meant to be easy. If you walk this path, then walk with awareness. Question your motives. Ask yourself if you are ready for the shadows that will rise. Do not be surprised when temptation grows louder. Do not be shocked when your own mind turns against you with vivid images and urges. That is part of the process. To test is whether you can channel the storm into something greater than yourself. The few who can are rare. They are remembered not because they resisted, but because they transformed. At the end of this journey, remember one thing. The untold dark side of semen retention is not a warning to scare you away. It is a reminder that true power demands true cost. The question is not whether you can start retention. The question is whether you can handle the weight that comes with it. If you are ready, then step into it with open eyes. If not, then do not pretend. Because pretending will only break you faster. This is the truth most will never say, but it is the truth you need to hear. And if this truth resonates with you, if it challenges you, if it makes you think deeper than the surface level conversations, then I ask you to support this channel using the thanks button below. Even the smallest contribution matters. It keeps these difficult conversations alive. It ensures that voices willing to speak the untold story continue to be heard. Thank you for walking this journey with me.